All right, Mob, welcome back to the Cream of the Crop 4th and 31 podcast, your one-stop shop for all things college and SEC football. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a minute. And also head on over to YouTube. I say this at the beginning of every show. Hit that subscribe. Help us grow this channel. We love hearing from everybody. Eventually, we'd like to do a live show. Like I've said before, you can insult us in real time, which would be fun. I'm your host, part of the Killer Bees broadcast team, the Chad Bullitt. And Mob, do we have a treat for you tonight? You asked for it, and we delivered. We are going one-on-one with the great one. Brent Finebaum is here. We're going to discuss SEC quarterbacks. We're going to give you who's going to start, their rankings. There may be a little bit of surprises. A lot of trolling in the comments, I would imagine, just because it's old Finebaum. So let's go ahead and get this started. And Mob, as always, leave your comments. Let us know. Well, you always let us know, what's wrong. Let us know if you like anything we said. That'll be a change. All right, let's start. We'll go bottom up. We'll start at 16 and go to 13. At 16, and this is just where we think they're going to start. Obviously, we're going to keep our predictions. And then at the end of the year, we're going to hold these and just see how god-awful wrong we were. That'll be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. But I know y'all will tell us anyway. All right, let's get started here. Number 16, I got Jared Curtis from Vanderbilt. 15, I got Aaron Follow from Florida. 14, Kenny Minchie, Kentucky. And 13, KJ Jackson from Arkansas. Finebaum, who's your bottom four?
So pretty similar. 16, I have Jared Curtis as well. 15, I have Kenny Minchie. 14, I have KJ Jackson, Arkansas. And 13, I have Camario Taylor, Mississippi State.
Okay. So obviously you got Aaron Follow a little bit ranked, probably a lot higher than what I do. I'm not saying he's terrible. This is just preseason again, and I'm sure by the end of the year he'll be a little bit higher, but we'll kind of see how this list goes. All right, let's go 12 through 9. I've got Camario Taylor from Mississippi State. 11, I've got Austin Simmons from Missouri. 10, Deuce Knight, I've got at Ole Miss. I was thinking I'm not really willing to give up on Chambliss not coming back. I know he got denied by the NCAA today. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not good with that sort of stuff, so I don't know what kind of appeals that he may have. Right now I've got 95% that it'll be Deuce Knight. I still think there's a teeny tiny chance that Chambliss could come back. Who knows? Maybe maybe if Chambliss does come back, Deuce Knight may go somewhere else the next time the portal opens, which I don't like that at all. And at 9, I have Byron Brown, the transfer to Auburn from South Florida. Finebaum, what you got on yours?
I feel like we're not really far off from each other. I think that we're just kind of that one tick mark off every time. So at my 12, I have Aaron Philo. I think the system he's going into fits him extremely well, and I think that he can potentially be a massive threat at Florida. For 11, I got Deuce Knight. Obviously, I think we only saw him play in one game, or obviously play in one game, and I mean he did a really good job. But he's still got to figure out. But now he's not even at the same school, and now he's got to go figure out a whole new offense and figure out all that kind of personnel that they're going to have at Ole Miss. So I do have Deuce Knight at 11. I have Austin Simmons at 10. I have him at 10 because he obviously is good enough to start. I mean, he was starting at Ole Miss. I think just a couple of unfortunate things went his way, and the best backup in the nation just happened to play behind him. So I mean, I think that he kind of got screwed last year, but I think he'll tear it up at Missouri. I think Eli Drinkwitz has got a great quarterback out there. At 9, I have Keelon Russell, Alabama. So this is where it gets real tricky for Alabama fans because we don't know who's going to be our quarterback. I honestly think this is probably one of the closest quarterback races that we'll ever have. Both are very, very good quarterbacks. Both can move, both can throw. I think really the only major difference is Austin Mack is 6'7" or 6'6", whatever he is. And I think Keelon is
6'7".
Dude, all the ratings dropped.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, I personally think Keelon will start. I think Kalen DeBoer knows the talent that he brings to the table. I think he knows what Keelon can do on field. Not that Austin Mack can. I just think Keelan is too good of a talent to leave on the bench. And who knows? Maybe you throw Keelan out there, maybe he doesn't. Maybe doesn't play very well. Maybe doesn't suffice to Alabama standards. And Austin Mack, you got a dang good backup. My thing is for Alabama fans out there listening, I don't think Austin Mack would have come back if he did not feel that he had a really good chance of playing at Alabama. Um, and if he doesn't play, I don't see Austin Mack as a guy that's just going to get up and be like, oh, F Alabama and Kalen DeBoer, like they don't play me, I'm getting the hell out of here. Just don't see him being the guy. I think he's a good leader. I think he'll be a good leader on and off the field. So I have Keelan at 9.
Okay. And obviously I got Keelan just a little bit higher. I think he'll win out. I'm with you. I think his talent level and his ceiling is so much greater than Max is right now. I may be wrong. But I think his ceiling's higher. But just to kind of get into this Alabama, because this is unless I'm missing something, this is probably the biggest QB battle could be in the country right now. Is at Alabama between these two. And I don't know, you're probably too young to remember like the early 2000s when Alabama had was it Watson Zal, and you know what the old saying is, if you have two quarterbacks, you have none. So I hope this doesn't get into a situation because those teams really weren't that great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping one guy can, take a hold of the offense and let's move forward with one guy. And also, I think the relationship between both quarterbacks is kind of similar to the Jalen Hurts Tua.
I hope
You know,
so.
I think, yeah, I hope so. And I honestly think it is because I think Mac's one of those kind of program players, or at least he's loyal, to DeBoer at the least. And I just don't see him kind of transferring, especially this late in the game. I mean, he'll be a senior, so what's the benefit of going somewhere, having to learn a whole new system? That doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
but stranger things have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly think whoever wins this battle, I think the other one obviously, whoever doesn't win will pull for the one who did win it. So, I could see some very good healthy competition and
Yeah.
coming out of the spring and going into the fall. That's going to be probably one of the most fun quarterback battles, I mean, that Alabama's had in what, 6
A
years?
long time.
More
Well, I think the good thing for Austin Mack, though, is that Austin Mack saw what Ty Simpson did. Ty Simpson waited his turn. He never rushed it. He never left. And I think Ty Simpson was the perfect role model, regardless of how he played on the field when we needed him or whatever case you want to throw out there. I think Ty Simpson was the perfect role model for all future quarterbacks that want to play major college football. It might not always go your way. You might always get tossed to the side because you just happen to have two absolute athletic freaks that play in front of you. But he stayed to the course and he stayed to the University of Alabama, and he knew that he would give the University of Alabama a great chance of making a national championship. I mean, damn, he won a playoff game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a great example. All right, get it into mine. 8 through 5. 8, I had Lenora Sellers from South Carolina. Look, from a talent standpoint, this guy is top 3 or 4. The only problem I have is this is how I think they'll be within a system. I know they got rid of Mike Shula last year, and I know most of the struggles, came along with that offense. But, it's going to take a few games before I say, he's one of the better quarterbacks, even though, he's so gifted athletically, that he should that guy's so gifted. He should be in the Heisman talk, but it just doesn't pan out. I have Keelon Russell at number 7, just based off of his potential and his ceiling. Um, with him and Mac, it took me a while to kind of think of, and I'm not saying Keelan's going to go in there and just absolutely win. He's going to have to he's going to have to earn it, because if you go back all of last year, who got 100% of the second team reps?
Austin Mack.
It wasn't Keelon Russell. It was Austin Mack. And that's why it took me a while to kind of put Keelon on here, because I would have had Mack, but I just think Keelon is he's going to be so good. Fingers crossed that he'll win this battle. Number 6, I had Marcel Reed from A&M. 5, I have Levitt from LSU. I just want to see what he does in a new system. I know Kiffin's an offensive genius, and I have no doubt, if he stays healthy and everything goes his way, he's going to move one or two at minimum. Brant?
So my 8, I think this is where you're really starting to see me and you having the biggest kind of differences. At 8, I have Byron Brown. I think coming from South Florida to the SEC might be a little difficult, and I can completely understand that. Um, but I mean, Byron Brown took Alabama to the brink 2 years in a row. I mean, he damn near almost beat us twice. I just think that Auburn is a difficult place to just come into and start winning. I think it's going to take time for them, and I don't know if because he'll be a senior. I don't know if a 1-year guy is what they need. I really loved Deuce Knight at Auburn. I thought that was their future, and I never really saw him going anywhere. Obviously, it didn't pan out that way. At 7, I have Lenore Sellers. Um, I mean, guys, this guy single handedly almost won his team games last year. I mean, he's huge. He's strong. I mean, he almost damn near beat Alabama again. I just that guy's an athletic freak. I think I'm telling you, if you took him off South Carolina and put him in maybe even a Florida market, or you put him in Georgia, I mean, he would be probably one of the hardest teams to stop. So, and you just don't get blinded by the record when it comes to Lenore Sellers, because Lenore Sellers is damn good. I felt the exact same way about Taylor Green last year. Taylor Green's record on his team did not show how good he really is. So at 6, I have Sam Levitt. Um, I said the same thing last year about John Mateer. Coming from the Pac-12 as for John Mateer, and then coming from the Big 12 as in Sam Levitt to the SEC is just a whole different game. I mean, it just is. And I think John Mateer kind of got a pretty good glimpse of that. But I mean, I just don't see Sam Levitt coming in and everybody saying he's going to tear up the SEC. I just don't see that. Very, very few people have done that. So I find it very hard to believe that Sam Levitt's going to be this guy that comes in and burrows, no pun intended, burrows to the SEC.
Nicely played.
I just don't see that happening. Not saying he's not good. I mean, Sam Levitt's damn good. I mean, they almost beat Texas last year in the playoff. I just think I think Lane Kiffin knows what he's doing, though, and I think he went and got his guy. But I think he went and got his guy for temporarily. I think he knows he's got somebody in that quarterback room or somebody else he's got his eye on for the next couple of years that's going to carry that LSU program. But for number 5, I have John Mateer. And I have John Mateer because, guys, he was injured. I mean, he broke his hand and then came back on his throwing hand, broke his hand, and then came back, still came into Bryant-Denny, still beat Alabama, then went to a playoff game, damn near did it again. I mean, guys, look, he's good. I mean, he can move. I know his stats were not the best last year. I get that, but that kid can move. He's got an arm. I think he's got ample time to heal and get ready to play football again this year. I think John Mateer is going to be a threat to anybody that comes to Norman. And I think that if everybody was really paying attention, they worry about John Mateer.
Yeah. That's a great point. Number 4, I've got Joey Aguilar from Tennessee. Now, I know he's got some stuff kind of pending. And look, TJ Finley's still playing college football. He's been there since 2020.
I'm telling you.
All right. Joey Aguilar, and I don't see how Chambliss didn't win his case, or how NCAA just dismissed his wanting to come back.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a chance that he could, like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know all the ins and outs of that stuff, but I think maybe if he challenges it a little bit more, Chambliss may get another year. And that's what I'm thinking with Aguilar at number 4. Number 3, I had your number 5, John Mateer, because he was injured. Before he was injured last year, he was a terror. And then he got hurt, and they were still winning games even when he was hurt. Now, granted, they had a damn good defense, let's be honest. But he was still, he wasn't turning the ball over. He was just basically managing the game for him offensively. What making a mistake. Came into Bryant-Denny, didn't make a mistake that I can remember.
They never seem to do.
Yeah. Almost like Indiana. They never made mistakes last year. Number 2, I got Gunnar Stockton. And number 1, I guess I'll fall for the hype. Arch Manning, the way he ended last year. He's got the name. But like I said, we'll see. I mean, like I said, these are just preseason. I'm sure a lot of this stuff will be up and down. Brant, what you got? Top 4.
So number 4, I got Arch. Just a little bit too inconsistent for me last year to put him up higher than 4. I think if there's anybody that can kind of get over those inconsistencies and play really, really good football, I think it's Arch. It's in his genes, literally. Uh, I can 1,000% see him be able to come out of that slump. And I mean, towards the year, I mean, Arch Manning started to tear it up. He started to get comfortable, and I think he started to see that. I mean, they have probably one of the best portal classes I've seen. He's going to have a couple star wide receivers out there now, and including Cam Coleman, the Auburn transfer. So I think Arch Manning's got everything he needs. And I think Sark has everything he needs to go and take Texas to a playoff again. Just got to see it all play out. Let's just hope those inconsistencies don't come back to haunt Arch, and maybe he's figured it all out by now. At 3, I have Joey Aguilar. I don't want people to forget about Joey Aguilar. I'm saying this, hoping he comes back or whatever. Joey Aguilar made Tennessee's offense last year a machine. And nobody expected that. Nobody expected him to come in after Nico and all his stuff, and really it felt like transform Tennessee's offense into a deep ball, high flying machine. And I mean, and he did real well. I understand that he had his inconsistencies at times. I understand that he lost a lot of big games. I mean, a lot to SEC fans, at least. I mean, he probably lost 2 or 3 big games, but I mean, he lost those games. And I think those kind of hurt him going throughout the year. But I mean, Joey Aguilar is damn good. I mean, that kid's got an arm on him. I don't see him falling off either. I think Tennessee's going to be a force to be reckoned with this year as well. So at 2, this is where we also differ. I have Marcel Reed. I mean, I just can't seem to forget how good Texas A&M was for the first 12 games of the season last year. I mean, Texas A&M it looked like they were unbeatable. I mean, we probably said it on this podcast 4 or 5 times, how unbeatable Texas A&M looked in those first 12 weeks. We put them up there right next to Georgia. I mean, they just looked like they could not lose. And a big part of that is Marcel Reed. And I think Marcel Reed has had a good portal class to come in for him. I think he's got good weapons. Now, they took our wide receiver too in Isaiah Horton. I mean, I think that he's going to have an unlimited throwing ability when it comes to this Texas A&M offense. And I think Marcel Reed is going to show everybody why he should be that highly ranked, regardless of his inconsistencies in big games, regardless of his inconsistencies in playoff games. I think Texas A&M has got the goods this year, and I think they have a really good opportunity to go to the SEC championship. So for number 1, I put Gunnar Stockton. It's pretty difficult not to put Gunnar Stockton. I know everybody wants to complain about that he runs too much and he puts his body on the line too much. I have never, ever heard somebody say, man, this guy really tries to win too much. Yeah, I've never heard that. Gunnar Stockton is exactly, and I think I said this on a podcast before, Gunnar Stockton is what I think of when I think of a Georgia quarterback. He's gritty. He's mean. He's going to put his body on the line. He's going to hop in that 1980 Ford Bronco he's got after the game, and he's going to drive home and go watch film. That's a quarterback for you. That's Kirby's guy, and that's exactly who Kirby wants running that ship. I think Gunnar Stockton is an absolute freak of nature when it comes to not only running the ball, but his vision. I think his vision for a quarterback is really nuts. And everybody wants to underestimate Gunnar Stockton still for some reason. Look, guys, let's look at Georgia. There's no reason to underestimate Georgia. 0. I don't care if you look at a quarterback or not. You can look at the whole team. There's no reason to think that Georgia is not going to be as good this year as they were last year. I get he lost a couple of wide receiver pieces, but Kirby is just fine. Kirby will find some people to replace those guys. He's never had trouble with that before. But I do have Gunnar Stockton at 1. I feel like our lists weren't that vastly different. I think we kind of had the same ideas. I do think that we really differed on the whole Arch thing, or not even whole Arch thing, whole Sam Levitt thing. I just think, coming to SEC is just quite difficult and to start ripping off 4,000-yard seasons.
I didn't have that on my bingo card. I just think that the guy, anybody who plays for Lane Kiffin is going to instantly be top half of the conference quarterback wise, because the man knows how to draw plays and can, he's just a good play caller.
Mm-hmm.
So
you'll also say, for the mob, if Trinidad and Chambliss comes back, he's my number 1. You can go ahead and move everybody down 1 notch, because Trinidad Chambliss will be my number 1 quarterback in the SEC if he comes back.
And that's a good point. And I almost, like I said before, almost put him on here, but I just don't. it's going to be tough now that the NCAA, kind of declined his option to come back, I guess. But I mean, like I said before, my God, a TJ Finley, he lost to Alabama as a starting quarterback 3 times with 3 different teams. He lost in 2020 at LSU. He lost in 2021 with Auburn, and then I think 2023 at Western Kentucky. So I don't think we play them this year, but it'd be kind of cool if a team beat them every year with every different team. That'd be
Yeah.
kind of like have the rainbow of victories against TJ Finley. But yeah, it just boggles the mind how one guy like him can play college football for 7, can be in the sport for 7 years. He may not have played 7, but he can be in the sport for 7 years. And then, these other 2 guys are having to scrape and, damn near beg to stay. It's just so
Yeah.
many inconsistencies.
I would really like to see the evidence that TJ Finley is putting forth to get more years as opposed to Trinidad or Joey or even Diego Pavia at that point. Like, I want to know what is he saying or doing that is so different where he can get this many years of eligibility. Same thing for Joey and Trinidad. For Joey getting to come back and Trinidad doesn't get to come back. Like, I want to know the NCAA is so unclear. I don't know the aspect of why this guy can't come back. All I know is, he got denied. It's not, he got denied because of this, this, this. Or it's not because this guy got approved because of this, this, and this. I mean, the NCAA has so many problems to fix. And I mean, let's just start at ground zero, which is telling me how I can get more years of eligibility if I wanted to, or ground zero, not letting 32-year-old G League players come into the league or come back to college. I mean, anything, we can start anywhere right there. I'd be okay.
Well, hey, at least Bediako's got 2 years of college left. I mean, he was only there for 2 years.
We got a G League center and we're still losing.
Hey, we won last night. We beat a good
Barely.
Texas A&M
Shout out to Houston Mallet. That is the only reason we won.
Hey, it doesn't matter. A win's a win. All right. So looking at our list let's say this, of the bottom 4 on your list, go ahead and scan over it. Which one of those bottom 4 could you see being in the top 4?
Tough.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Maybe
I have.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you
okay,
go ahead.
I have Aaron Philo, 15. Everything works out for him. I could see him in that offense at Florida. The fun and gun. God, those were some good years with Spurrier. And I'm not even a Florida fan, but thank God they were fun to watch. I think that's my sleeper, Aaron Philo.
Yeah, it's a good pick. I think Aaron Philo is really severely underrated. I have Kamario. I think I'll pick Kamario Taylor. Man, we watched him come in at the end of the year for Mississippi State and absolutely light it up. And I think that is like all Starkville needs. And this is coming from a secondhand Mississippi State fan when Alabama's not playing them. All they need is a spark, man. They remember when they got Dak. I mean, they got Dak and they had a spark, and all of a sudden, bam, Mississippi State was up there. And I think that's what they're missing. I'm not saying Kamario Taylor is Dak Prescott level, but I'm saying Kamario Taylor has the ability and the opportunity to be that level. And I think Mississippi State and Starkville is really going to embrace him as a quarterback, more than people think. I'd probably say Kamario Taylor. I mean, obviously, I don't think Mississippi State's going to be in the playoff or, the SEC championship or anything, but I think Kamario Taylor has an opportunity to really prove himself this year.
All right. Conversely, your top 4, who do you see could possibly drop?
Fall out?
Yeah.
Man. My God, it's hard. Yeah, I mean, because I really want to say Arch Manning because of the inconsistencies we saw last year, but I also really want to say Joey Aguilar because as soon as Tennessee started losing games last year, you never really heard about Tennessee that much anymore. So I'll say Joey Aguilar. As good as he is, I mean, anybody can go through a mental spell where it just kind of takes over. You can't win a big game. Like we went over schedules. They had a big game in their first 5 games. I don't remember who it was. I don't remember who it was, but if they go and lose that game, Joey Aguilar loses again. So let's just say it's Georgia. 5th game of the year, they go to Athens, or the Athens comes to Knoxville, or Georgia comes to Knoxville, whatever it is. If he loses that big game again, I think it really starts to creep in with him that, man, I cannot win these big games. I mean, regardless if it's him saying it, because let me tell you, the Tennessee faithful is going to let you know when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So I really feel like my hands are tied, and I have to say Joey Aguilar.
I'll go with Arch because you had a bad loss against Florida last year, and where you didn't play very well, and then you had a what was that against Mississippi State?
Well, that was close. Overtime game.
Yeah, well, where you probably if Mississippi State can just maintain a lead late in that game, that could have been another potential loss. So those inconsistencies that you brought up as to the reason why he wasn't your number one, I could see him falling down, into the 5 to 8 range. So yeah, I don't think we're very far off. All right. Well, not a bad list from both of us. Let's switch gears real quick because we kind of last show we kind of talked about the kind of realignment of college football. We'll give a little preview for one of our next shows. Brant, how do you feel about this about potentially realigning college football? Not that they are, but just with the with the California teams out in the Midwest or in the Big Ten, and what's your thoughts on that?
I really I don't. My whole problem with conference realignment is I never really understood it. Um, I understand that some conferences bring in more money than others, but I mean, I don't know. At this point, I feel like it's a lot about TV rights, and money rights. And I think that Oregon, Washington, USC, I think they all saw we can make more money if we're in the Big Ten. And I want, once again, calling on the NCAA, I want you to understand how that's a problem. No school should be able to, no school that's in, the ACC, like Miami or Florida State, should look at the SEC and be like, we want to go there because we're going to make more money. Because we can't pay players in the portal more than these other schools. We're getting outbid. So we want to join a conference where we're going to be able to bring in more money with our television rights and, and any kind of stuff like that. I think that conference realignment is really stupid. I think I would have much rather just stayed at 12. No Texas, no Oklahoma, no A&M, no Missouri. Let's just stay at our common 12 and I mean, and play football. Nobody ever complained when it was a BCS national championship. It was 2 teams. Nobody complained. Now all of a sudden we have 4 and, oh, wow, 5 and 6 got left out. That's not good. Now we have 12. Oh, 13, 14 are getting left out. That's not good. It's just it'll never be content now. And I think the NCAA cracked and gave the players an inch, and now the players are trying to take a mile. Same, and I'm not even just shouting out players solely. I'm even over the organizations, the schools are taking as much as they'll be given, and I think that is a massive problem and needs to be fixed. I think conference realignment is the absolute worst. I don't want to see more teams in the SEC. If anything, I want less. And I think a lot of SEC fans would agree with that. I mean, you don't even get to play everybody in your conference. I mean, you don't even know who the SEC champion is because we didn't play Arkansas last year or whoever it may be. I mean, the hell, we could have walked into Fayetteville and lost. I mean, nobody knows. You wouldn't know because you don't play all the teams. So I think conference realignment is atrocious, and I think it's really downing the sport of college football and many others.
Yeah, and Mob, in case you haven't noticed, I'm not a big fan of these super conferences. And what we plan on doing, we're going to take some time out, maybe in the next week or so, to kind of realign it. Let's get back to how it was, 15, 20 years ago. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. These super conferences does nothing for the sport. It's a big money grab. I think we can all agree with that. So that'll be a preview of what's, to come up in the next few weeks. All right. Well, guys, let us know in the comments what you think about our QB list. Let us know where we went wrong. And if you want, let us know where we went right. I mean, that's always appreciated, too. So, for the Brant Finebaum, I'm me, Chad, and we will see you next time.